Hello, good evening everyone. Tonight I'm just going to share with you the Singapore real estate market update for the month of August 2025. Although the month is not over yet, but I have up to date till mid-month. These are the data that I think will help you guys because recently the government has announced the removal of SIRS as well as the release of new BTOs and the government land sales, right? So there are all three news come in at the same time, and perhaps you'll be feeling a little bit overwhelmed. So that's why I made this presentation. It is a comprehensive analysis across the northeast, the east, and the central regions to help you make some decisions in case you want to make a move in this current climate. All right. So in this guide, there is a market snapshot, there's a supply analysis, there's a regional breakdown, there's a buyer and seller insights. And of course, if you want a personalized consultation, you can always engage me there at the slide here, right? You can see 30-minute meeting with JN Consulting is absolutely free. I'm not going to charge you anything. And then you can get a lot more besides this PowerPoint presentation. At the same time, you can call me directly if you want immediate attention. All right, and my number is actually there. It's easy to remember. So, question, should you buy or sell a home in Singapore right now? Well, the question is really targeted as a very generic one because we really do not know at what life stage you are at. But we want to cut away the noise, right? And provide some intelligence and supply dynamics to let you understand. Okay, the market snapshot, the steady growth continues for the price in terms of Q2. It was 1%, and that was up from 0.8% in Q1. In terms of rental, there is 0.8%, doubling from 0.4% in Q1. That shows the strengthening of the rental demand as well. And what that means, it basically means stable price appreciation for owners, and it also means predictable conditions for purchasers in case you want to buy. This kind of balance, right, is kind of rare, but it helps to create more insight in the sense that at least you know the strategic moves in both directions. Now the supply dynamics, as you can see here, basically the pipeline we have is close to 60,000, and then the GLS unit, GLS stands for government land sales. Okay, it's running low, but there's unsold inventory in the market as well. So what does that mean? It means for the buyers, the expanding supply pipeline will give you more choices. For sellers, you have to expect increasing competition because there's new launches, there's areas which are concentrated development activity, and sometimes strategic pricing becomes very important if you want to sell. So this is the overview of the regional performance. The core central region had a price change of increase in 3% from 0.8% in Q1. The rental growth is 1.8%. That's the core central region because this area is a luxury segment and it shows exceptional strength. If you are looking at CCR, talk to me and I will guide you on where to look at and how to buy. For the rest of central region, RCR, the price change is plus 1.7% in Q1, and that rental growth is flat. Okay, but does that mean that RCR is a bad thing? No, it means that there's price softening and that creates potential buying opportunities in this mid-tier market. If you stay in RCR in the neighborhood and estate and you want to upgrade to a private property from there, from HDB to private property, then I think you can also consider. You can negotiate and leverage, okay, if you know how to. So engage me again if you need help. For the outside central region, okay, this is the area where there's some increase because outside central region seems to have picked up over the years. The rental growth has increased so slightly, it's only 0.1% for rental. But for the price change, it has increased 1.1%. Although it is still not as good as a CCR, for example, but at the same time, it is a steady demand because it's anyway a heartland area. This is a good place to enter into the market if you have a budget and affordability constraint, and this is really for the first-time buyers and investors seeking a stability in this situation. So what about transaction activity? Resale market dominates. And what does that mean? It means that resale is running faster, okay, in Q2, and that for buyers, the resale market offers most active segment, okay, because of greater negotiation potential and immediate move-in options. People do not wait for their BTO, you know, like getting it ready in a few years' time. They just drop the idea of the HDB BTO and they went in straight for resale. Because why? They can get the immediate move-in option. For sellers, if you price your resale properties right, you will be moving faster than the new launches. And this also means that there's a strong demand for the ready units. So what about mortgage and affordability considerations? Now, I must highlight the government advises, you know, because the Singapore authorities is actively encouraging prudence in property purchases. In fact, over the years, you have seen all the cooling measures coming in, TDSR coming in, loan to value, even the most recent was the SSD, reverting back to 4 years. You know, and affordability really actually controls the loan ability of the individual or the couple, right? Because there's a stress test, and the stress test, you know, has been implemented by the MAS for the bankers. You know, when they're going to do a loan assessment, your IPA, they will always do the stress test to check and also to say what's the maximum loan they can loan to you. So therefore, government advises, please practice prudence. Do not overstretch. Okay. For the buyer implications, just try to do it within your sustainable budget parameters rather than stretching. Okay. And for the sellers, I really want to encourage you, anticipate more cautious and conservative buyers. So do not think that, we have an exclusive agreement and then after 3 months, you expect that it is sold within your high price, that kind of thing. You sometimes have to practice a little bit of balance. Means that you must understand that current market buyers are very conservative, very prudent, very financially savvy. They also may require longer decision timelines, meaning they take longer time to finally decide to offer. So if you want to sell fast, you need to also balance out what is your need, because property is not just about selling. After selling, you're thinking about what to buy, and therefore you need to have realistic pricing strategies as well. So therefore, I believe that if you're able to secure a good price and move on, you can also get a good price when you buy. So what's the market trajectory? All right, looking at this, quarterly price trends is an increase of 1%. Quarterly rental trends about 0.8% increase. The annual perspective, I would think, it's gonna have a rebounding rental market, from a flat performance in Q4 2024, because 2024 rental market was really flat and it was not as good. The data reveals a market transitioning from rapid post-pandemic recovery to more sustainable long-term growth patterns. So I think sufficient momentum to maintain price stability is like what the government is also doing to avoid the overheating. Now, strategic recommendations for buyers. If you want to expand, you can always take advantage of the increasing inventory because inventory is available. both for new launch and also resale markets, so you can always negotiate favorable terms for yourself. And if you need an agent, of course, you would have to engage me. I'm here to help you. I will help you engage the best possible price to buy. The opportunity, right? Consider RCR properties because the prices have softened and there is like some value entry points that you can really think about. You need to, however, have financial prudence, structure those purchases conservatively, right? So that at least if there's a market volatility, you are not so worried, right? But anyways, when we do financial planning, I will ensure that you have a buffer before you commit to purchasing. For the sellers, on the other hand, the market strength is there. You have to leverage continued strong resale demand because resale is moving. Just now we saw the chart more than the new launch, right? Particularly in the CCR and the OCR segment. So if you're looking at you have a property in these areas and you want to sell, you leverage on the strong resale demand right now, okay, or the transaction volume, I mean. The buyer psychology, you must understand. Prepare for more extensive negotiation. It may be a bit more ding dong, but it's okay. You have an agent, me, to help you manage all that, so leave the stress to me. For the pricing strategy, set competitive, realistic prices to facilitate faster transaction in the market while expanding, because after you sell, you need to buy. So you must understand, it's always a related kind of thing. It's not like after you sell, then you're done. You still need a place to stay, right? Or if you're an investor, after you sell, you may want to reinvest in something else. So there's a lot of things that you probably need to consider after our consultation. So if you want more personalized attention and a tailored advice, I encourage you to book the free 30-minute meeting with me, Jordan, in JN Consulting to give you more insights at the same time, give you more clearer direction, right? And with that, I'll end the presentation. Thank you for your attention. Good night.